Hi, welcome back to Update for September. I thought we'd do something a little bit different today, and I'll give you a bit of a rundown of what's been going on from the office, and then we're going to head down to the boat and actually show you what's happening. So probably the first big change that we've done is a redesign of the Flybridge. Now we may have touched on that in an earlier video, and what basically the issue was is that we wanted to have a 3-seat helm seat, and that was quite big, and either side of that originally was going to be the start of the Flybridge lounges, which we're going to run longitudinal along the sides of the coaming there. It didn't leave a lot of room, and we had a couple of sort of, a bit of a brainstorm back and forth, and what we've come up with is we're going to treat the helm area as a little bit more of a, say, workstation, and then have after that more of a lounging recreational area. So what that means is where we've got the helm station, which is I consider to be business, because that's where the captain will be commanding the vessel from, with a couple of people sitting beside him if need be. Either side of that, we're going to have some cabinetry, because you always need cabinets up on the Flybridge for your flares and safety gear and things like that, plus a lot of incidentals. And then we're going to have the start of the lounge, which is going to be more of a, well, you'll see a bit more of an island type lounge. So you'll be able to sort of sit on it from all different angles rather than be like a fixed seating with armrests. So I think it's a massive improvement on what we originally had designed and envisaged. And what we're going to do now, it's going to make the Flybridge a lot more open plan. So the removal of the mast and the redesign of the lounges either side of the Flybridge is going to allow, flexibility of having tables, some scattered chairs or bean bags, which is pretty common on boats these days as well. So you have a massive amount of space up there for entertaining, and I think it's going to be a big plus. So we'll shoot down there later on and we'll show you that, because we've pretty much started construction of that now. We've installed the transom shower, which created a few issues on its own, in that you're aware that we've got stairs either side of the transom to get back up onto the back deck, because I've been an aft cabin boat, you have accommodation under there, as opposed to, say, a sports fishing style boat, which is designed for fishing. So we didn't want to have the transom shower inaccessible, because in our experience, generally the hose for the transom shower will generally get kinked and need to be untangled, or they leak. So we wanted to have that in a space where it could be maintained and serviced and not pose any potential water hazard into the accommodation. So the last thing we want to do is sort of stick it down in a cavity in the transom and avoid there, where if it leaked you wouldn't know until you started seeing water staining on our beautiful silky oak veneer, or damp carpet. And also, if it got stuck and people couldn't get the hose back in or couldn't pull it out, you're pulling off wall panels and things like that to get access to it. So I think we've come up with a compromise there, which I shouldn't say compromise. I think it's just the right way to do it. Anyway, we'll show you that when we go down there. We have installed the navigation lights now, so they're in place. We've got some paneling, so you'll see some of the actual silky oak paneling that we have made for the V-Berth cabins up in the foredeck area, or forward part of the accommodation. We've been powering on with that. We've got a couple of ideas with regards to the trim around the portholes up there, and the issue that we've had, that we may have mentioned, is that there's a massive amount of flare on the bow. And from the exterior, you look at the bank, oh yeah, all the portholes look nice and they're all in a line and that. When you go into the cabin, the flare and the camber of the deck really puts a lot of angles into what you're looking at. So it's something that we've been throwing at quite a few different scenarios and mock-ups at that. So we'll show you what we've been working on there. In the aft accommodation, we've been doing the corner molds for the hanging lockers, which ties into the V-Berth, the twin berth beds themselves. So I'll show you the trim there, and Kevin's done a fantastic job of tying all that in together. Again, we've been doing the corner molds in the galley area, between the galley and the salon. We've also tipped the lounge up on its end, which I think we showed you last time. We've now got started the process of clear coating of the tow rail there, so you'll see that. We've been putting a lot of insulation back into the boat. So when we started the initial tear down, pretty much every cavity in the vessel was filled with fiberglass insulation. the sides, the deck head, everywhere. So we've been putting a lot of that back in. Our big helm seat's currently clearing custom, so hopefully we'll be able to show you that in the next couple of weeks. We've dry fitted the horn system as well with all the plumbing and that for that. And I haven't touched on the electrical too much because you'll see that's been going on, but it's, you know, it's wires here and there and everything like that. So there's not really a lot to see other than, you know, wires running around everywhere. And particularly in the engine room. We haven't showed you a lot of the engine room yet, mainly because what we're doing, we have fresh water tanks in the wings, and we've been building a bulkhead around those, which gives us some more real estate to actually use, because we've got other transformers, we've got water maker, we've got freshwater pumps, we've got the control boxes for the engines. There's still a lot to go into the engine room, and it never hurts to have too much space where you can actually mount things. We've also, then that provides a place for where we can run the hydraulic steering lines, the fuel lines, and give us a lot more options. So I didn't want to show you anything there until we've actually done that and tidied it up, because at the moment, because of the access, and we're making bulkhead panels, we're actually having to make them in the engine room because they're too big to fit down the stairwell. So we've got a big table that we've put over the engines, and everything's been protected and covered. But yeah, once there's actually something a bit further down the track to show you, then I want to show you all of that, and that'll also incorporate you know, the engines, the generators, the electrical box cabinetry that we've put in, and give you a general layout of what we're actually going to be doing in there. So that'll be coming up in the next few weeks, but that's just one reason why we haven't shown you that yet. So anyway, I just wanted to give you a bit of an update from the office, so I can sit here and actually talk to you a little bit without too much noise around. We're going to head down to the boat, so the next time you see me, we'll be down on site, and we'll start to run through some of the stuff I've just mentioned. Hi, welcome back. We're now down on site, back at the boat, and I just wanted to take the opportunity before we go into the boat is to show you some of the raw materials and things like that we use in the construction and the fit outs. So probably an interesting thing is if we had smell-o-vision, you'd actually be able to smell this and you'd know exactly what it is. It's a container pretty much full of teak. Now on the side here you'll see the profile. So most of this one has been machined up for the teak decking that's going to go right around the main deck of the boat and on the Flybridge. So you can see the profile there. It's got a 5mm rebate in it, which is traditional for doing teak decks. We did, however, get these planks machined to 15mm, which is a little bit thicker than traditional. Normally it's about 12mm. The idea being it's going to last a lot longer, and it wasn't that much difference in price basically to get it a little bit thicker. Some of the other stuff here is just all the rough boards, which you can see. I'm standing on a couple that would probably be, oh geez, well it's a 20-foot container, so it's going to be about 6 metres long. We had to get some big lengths of teak also, because we're doing the capping right around the main deck, and you'll notice up on the bow it's actually quite wide. Some of the other wood that we have in here apart from the teak is the silky oak. So these are some of the rough boards of silky oak that we start with, and then we machine those down to make the furniture and the rebates and the corner mouldings and things like that on the boat. We'll show you a bit more of that later on. This is the insulation that we've been using for the ducting of the air conditioning system, and that's sort of how it comes. We just cut it off and bond it on with high temperature contact adhesive, and the idea of that is basically just to stop any condensation coming through from the hot and the cold system and rotting your wood and dripping out of the vents and onto all your furniture. So well, the other container that I want to show you is the one that's got all of our dangerous goods in it. So come this way. So this is some of the materials that we've been using, basically the painting and the gluing and the bonding and stuff like that. So over this side here, the Megapoxy, that's an epoxy glue that we use for gluing all the timber together. We've also got some of the sealer and bonder and high build that we use on all the clear coat, which is these ones down here. This is vinyl ester resin that we use when we are making some of the laminations. We've got Interprotect, which is a 2-pack epoxy primer, which is on the boat. The interior finish. So this one here, the interior finish 860 and 7 should be 860 and 750. That's the paint that we've been using in the bilges and for a lot of the internal, the main sort of stuff, all the bilges, the floorboards or the deck boards. Brilliant paint. It's a super yacht paint designed specifically for bilges. If you apply it in the correct manner and according to the recommendation, it actually comes with a Lloyd's fire rating, so it was appropriate to put in a timber boat as well. A micro surfacer. The paint system that we're using is All Grip, which I think is the best available. So you can see here the top coat. So we started with Allcraft 2000. It has been superseded to Allcraft 3000 now, but we've got enough of the 2000 to go right through and do the remainder of the boat, and you'll see the specific reducers and activators and things like that there, and also their fillers and their primers. So that's all we use there. The varnish stuff on the exterior, we're using Allwood, which is some parts of the kits down there. It's a single pack, but it's absolutely sensational on teak. So you'll see some of it as we go up there onto the boat. To be honest, the photos don't do it justice. The stuff is unbelievable. It gives us such a depth of shine. So anyway, we'll go into the boat now and we'll start running around and show you a bit of an update. What you're looking at there is some reinforcing we've put into the bulkheads that go around the fridge. We noticed that there may be a possibility of some distortion because the panels are so big, and we decided to put some 32 by 32 mil square section in there and reinforce it so there's less chance of it bowing. And these are the workstations. There's a few photos that we might sort of throw into the video of what's been going on here, but a lot of stuff's now in the spray shed getting clear coated, so it's not here. But these are some of the sections we've been making up. I was mentioning to you about the corner mold. So that's basically the section that you make in order to do a corner mold like you'll see on the cabinet just over there. And what this one here, come around here, that's it in place. So you can see there how it all goes together. And that's all veneered as a finished product there, and that goes away to get clear coated. So you can actually see quite well how it's all constructed. Now before we get to this, we'll come down here and follow me. This is what you're starting with. So that we buy the planks, rough sawn boards like this, and we make sure that they're not bowed. We try and get as long a length as we can because we need 2 metre lengths to get one piece for a corner cap on a bulkhead. Otherwise, the shorter lengths we can use for the cabinets. But this is the silky oak. We run it through the thicknesser, which is the machine here, and then we rip it down to the size that we're going to need, and then we start machining it into the section that you just saw just a minute ago. We're on the other side of the vessel now, so you can see we've got more workbenches set up. Basically each shipwright has their own workstation where they can construct their sections for the vessel. Moving up here, these are the window surrounds for the twin berth cabins, and they're just been getting a little bit more of a detail. And what you can see here, so this is scarves, this is how we fit it into the other part of the boat. This has all been fed, some of the materials I showed you from the dangerous goods container. You'll also see the print on here. So this has been laminated as well. Most of the stuff inside we do with an epoxy resin, as opposed to vinyl ester or a polyester resin. So pretty much most of the construction, unless we're doing a full fiberglass casting, will be in epoxy HT 9000. This is the fairing just to finish it off. It's got a lot more sanding to go. Then we'll get high build on it, undercoat, sanded, and then this will end up, and this will be the outside under there. You can see that. So that's basically going to be your window trim. It's upside down, but that won't matter for the... And that's all been fed. Then this all gets high builded, faired, sanded again, and then gets undercoated and it goes through the paint system. So what we're going to do now, actually before we go, I'll show you this. So this is the insulation. So it's mentioned back in the office that we've been going around putting insulation. So this is a section of it, been glued, right? For this is thermal and acoustic, but mainly a thermal insulation. So you'll see this in most of the cavities on the vessel. because wood does get hot and we want to insulate the boat so we're not transferring heat through. A bit like your 5-star rating for houses when they build them these days with regards to thing. One other thing I want to show you this way. I wasn't sure if we'd shown you before, but there's our horns that are going on the boat. And these are beautiful. Well, I'm going to pull them right out, but you get the idea. So these are all triple chrome plated brass and stainless steel fittings. The air horns are Carlenberger, which are the best in the business. They're going to be going up onto the side of the superstructure like that. Wanted to show you that before we go up. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go up onto the vessel and we'll probably start on the Flybridge, and I'll show you with the modifications that we talked about. Right, we're back up on the Flybridge now, and I just wanted to go through the change layout that we discussed back in the office. So the original, as mentioned, was going to be lounge starting here, running down here, and then a cabinet here. Then we needed more space here for the helm seat. We also needed space for the refrigeration doors to open, and we're starting to get a bit squishy. So the design evolved, and basically where we're at now is this is going to be some doors, cabinets. We're going to have a lounge cushion coming around all the way back and then wrapping back around in this way. So effectively you'll have a nice lounge module here with a backrest, and you'll be able to sit here facing this way, facing out here. You'll be able to sit here, face forward. So I think it's a massive improvement on what was there. There'll be storage underneath. You can see here, this is the electrics for the air horn I showed you downstairs, and that's obviously the air part of the air horn. So that's all ready to go because it's just going to be mounted on the other side there. Here on the deck, that's basically where the helm seat was going to be. So you can see it's 3-seater, so it takes up a bit of space. We had to go for a 3-seater as opposed to a 2 because our helm is right on the centre line, and if we had a 2-seater it'd have to be offset, or you're going to have a bum cheek on each cushion. So we went with a 3, and it's ergonomically and symmetrical and all that sort of stuff. So again, I think we've actually come up with a better idea, because as I'm standing here, so if the captain's in charge of the vessel driving there, you're going to be able to have all this space here to stand here, look at where we're going, stand here, talk to the captain. Plus, if we left the lounge here, you're effectively going to be sitting down here looking up at the helm seat, and it's not that friendly. So now you're going to have a nice cushion here. You're going to be able to sit here, you're going to see the people on the lounge on the other side, you'll be able to talk to someone who's standing here. It's just going to be a lot more social. And if you look back, you'll see all the space now that you're going to have all the way through here, right back to where the stairs come up to access the Flybridge. So you've got all of this space now that you can use, and we can have tables, scattered chairs, bean bags. We've got space for jet ski, paddle boards, that type of thing. And the tender's going to go back here. So again, you just got all this room now to use. It's a massive improvement. So we're really happy with what's eventuated through, having to do some changes. And I think the changes have been for the better. Back in the office, I mentioned about the clear coating going on site on the vessel. This is our L-shaped lounge, which we included in the last episode, and I mentioned about the return air vents and things that we've put into the fascia panel here. This is the kicker. We've started the process of clear coating that now, so you can see a nice shine on that. It's still got a long way to go until it's finished, but we have to do this one in situ because we can't remove it out of the boat, and I think you should be able to see a bit of shine in that at the moment, but that's still got quite a few coats to go on it yet. We're nearly on the final run home with the teak on the window frames. As you can see, the boys now, we've done pretty much built up about 20 coats of the all wood, which is an all grip product. What's happening now is it's getting the final sand. It's a very light sand. and then we're going to re-tent everything. It'll get a full clean down again to get rid of all the contamination, and then we're going to spray another few coats on, and then that pretty much should be it.
We've done a dummy wire of this fan coil unit for the lower helm area.
Yeah.
And we've tested it already, and we've got nice airflow out the middle, reasonable airflow here and reasonable over there.
Yep.
But the main thing is we get good airflow. You can feel it from...
Oh, you can, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Bearing in mind we've got no glass here to reflect the air either, so it's going to be shooting up.
It's not really...
I can feel that already.
Not much blowing out. That's on high.
Shit, that's good. I'm not allowed to say that on TV, but anyway. Bloody, that's good, eh? No, okay. I can feel that from here. That's brilliant.
Yeah, well, that's on high.
Yeah.
And we obviously can go down to low.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, the only thing is just feel what's coming out there. Obviously, just due to...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but once it's on, and it's like your car, you know, you put the air on, it'll slowly bring the temperature down.
And
so
you can set it on auto mode, which will go hard, and when it gets to set point, it'll slow down.
Yeah.
So if you're happy with that,
just turn down. There's a bit of noise coming out there, so just turn it down a little bit. What's the sounds like thunder?
Well down in under there.
Right. Okay.
You can have a look there just to see what's going on.
Oh yeah. So we've only got 2 inlets into the ducting, not a third one in the far corner.
No, we haven't.
Because it's a cupboard, we can't get in there, innit? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, look, that's. I think that's fine. The thing is, we're going to have those fan units going to be rubber mounted too in that tray, aren't they? So that's going to isolate.
It's already sitting on
okay.
I'm going to drop it down a bit.
Oh god! Yeah, because we got those variable speed motors on this too, haven't we? Yeah. The top of the range stuff.
And we could potentially maybe get rid of some. I'm not sure if that's because it's belting straight out, hitting the plenum.
You know what I mean? You can hear that noise, like a thundery sort of noise.
Now, though.
No.
It's half speed.
Yeah. Look, I mean, the only time you're going to have it on full flat out is when you first get on the boat. If your bloody thing's so damn hot.
That's 1 notch off flat out.
Yeah.
That's half.
Oh, look, you can't even hear that.
And you know what? Fine. If you just put it on auto, when the boat's hot, it'll go hard.
Yeah, then it'll come down.
Then it'll drop down to idle. Just sit there and idle all day.
No, that'll be fine.
You got cooling coming through here. This door will be open.
That's right.
You've got cooling coming from here, cooling from the soil.
No, I love that. I think that's great. Yeah. No, that's ideal.
The airflow's good with those 1 centimetre holes in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're gonna use the same sort of style right through the whole boat. So, you know, the same deal for this. The owner's stateroom, the whole lot's going to be all these sort of grills. So we're going to be the same gaps. We sort of worked out what the cross-sectional area should be and everything to make sure they're all.
Scotty's onto that. Yeah, we're nutting out this up in the galley now.
That's what I thought. I saw Scotty's stuff down on his workbench where he's going up with. Yeah.
That's right. So they're going to end. You know how you've got your where your helm is, you've got your fridge, fridges either side, then the plenum boxes are going to be right there, next to it. Pretty much hard up.
Yeah, I saw that mocked up upstairs, Okay.
Quick, that guy.
I know, he's good. No, the boys are really good.
We discussed that an hour ago and he's...
I know, I got to say, I'm really impressed,
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so with the ducting, in here then, so we're basically, I think there was a layout on the Flybridge under the helm I saw, where we're gonna have a vent here and we're gonna have a vent here somewhere.
Actually, it'll be in this section. Yeah. It'll be in this one.
Yeah, then the return air's got to be at the bloody fridge, so that's the only thing. It's gonna be up in the top.
Over the top, but he's also gonna let air come up the side.
That's right. Yeah.
Cool the fridge down.
Yep.
And we'll have an outlet here. Yeah. Blowing down and another outlet.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be plenty.
And we're also going to, you may have already explained it, we're not going to come sideways. We want the duct up high so no one, how many times you crawl under the dashboard and laid on the duct and kill it.
Yep, I know. Yeah, no, that's it.
So we're going to actually fasten it to the nose.
Yeah, I went through that with them. Yeah, keep it out of the way so, you know, we can all crawl around in there. No, it's coming along really, really well.
Yes,
so.
it's coming along fast.
Yeah, yep, no, it's great. We've just powered up the remote that's actually going to be used on the vessel. This is the one that you saw just a minute ago, but we're going to these ones. Then that will actually fit in with the dress frame and that matches all the power points and the light switches that we're going to have on the boat. One thing I wanted to point out, which I didn't know, is that little probe there, that's a sensor, and that's actually your air temperature sensor there. So if you're looking at, this is in Fahrenheit, we haven't calibrated yet, but say it's 77 degrees, it's actually picking it up on there. So wherever you put this is where it picks up the temperature to determine the climate control. You can though remote mount another one down on the fan unit, or you could probably put it in the ducting as well. But this is where they come standard, and that's, John says that works fine, so that's probably where it's going to end up staying. Yeah. Is there any more features in this that this one doesn't have on top of this, or they're the same and just different shape?
That's more late model than this one.
Okay, yeah, right, okay.
Yeah, but this is the only one that will fit your final panels.
Well, I like everything to match, so that's, but we're not really losing anything,
you're not losing
though? No, okay. What you're looking at there is the fan unit for the V-Berth cabin and the plumbing. So because it's a chilled water system, this is all the water inlet and outlet piping. We're still waiting on some custom brackets and that we're having made in order to secure all this, but you get an idea of what's going on. This actual section here where it's sitting is all watertight, and it's got a drain which you probably can see. If you want to just pan back, you'll see a drain in there. So the idea there is if we had some issue with the fan unit or the cooling system, it's not going to flood the whole boat. It'll go down into there, which then goes into a tank and gets pumped over the side. So that's again one of those things that through experience we've sort of learnt you need to do, and it needs to be a big drain. There's been a bit going on here too, so you can see the corner mould here is on in silky oak. We mentioned before how that's made. We've got our silky oak veneer here, so that extends right out to the side of the vessel. That's done on both sides, but what you're looking at here is the silky oak planking. So this is what we're going to do as a feature right through the vessel. And it's sort of the idea is to tie it in with the the clinker, the timber fabrication of the traditional build. So you'll see the sections through here. They're all going to be they're all going to be clear coated and then reinstalled. Further up, you'll see some of the insulation that we showed you downstairs. So that's temporarily sitting there at the moment, but that's all going to be in. The planking that you see there, that's pine, which sort of what I mentioned back in the office. We've been going back and forth with a few ideas and things like that, what to do. There's a porthole under there and there's a porthole under the aft one. It's got to look right, and at the moment the angles are still not quite right because of the flare. So we're still working on how we're going to do that, but it will be a clinker sort of finish like that. That though is going to be in eggshell white gloss, so it's like a cream colour. The deck head is going to be the same planking as this, but it's going to be in a satin finish eggshell white, which I've got samples of in the office, which I think I may have showed you already. So you're going to have gloss silky oak through here. You're going to have a shelf, actually the second bunk comes out here. That's all done in gloss silky oak. Then we'll have eggshell through there and eggshell across the top. So it breaks up a bit of the timber and makes the timber more of a feature. You'll see the front bulkhead is now done in silky oak. If you do pan right round past me again, you'll see the other bulkhead is being done in silky oak, corner cap's done, and we've actually started cutting in for the GPOs and the light switches, and also the fan control units and that for the air conditioning will be installed as well. And you'll see the silky oak has been cut to fit there. So what we've got here, the bunk goes in here, that's going to be glossed. There'll be a shelf here, that'll be glossed. This will be glossed. The second bunk comes out about this far, and that will have a silky oak on it, and it's also going to have some of the goat hide feature, leather, and the same as on here as well. So this is still to be done, but we can see that we've been making some progress, and we hadn't showed you this before yet, so I thought we'd go up here and have a little bit of a look at it. Before we leave, I just wanted to show you, we mentioned about the paint in the paint store there and doing the bilges. So it's a bit dusty and the lighting's not the best, unfortunately, but you'll see that all the bilges right through the boat have been done in gloss white. So we will show you more of that in the coming videos, but I thought while we're here I'll just show you that. So it's just the way we've finished everything off. The light shining in the other side here, Ron might want to show you that. And the same as where the fan unit was, and up onto the bulkhead side of the hull has all been done in gloss white as well. So it's going to make it a lot more serviceable, easy to clean. The paint seals beautiful. It is unbelievable paint, this stuff, so we absolutely love it. We've been using it right through the bilges of the boat, and you can't say enough good things about it. Well, thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, that sort of thing, so you'll get updates as soon as they pop up online.